And bonjour, Bruno here. You're joining the LARVOL Onco podcast. I have to pick which of my hat do I put, the LARVOL or the Onco podcast. It's actually both. And we're going to talk about two important topics today. We're going to talk about EHA, the hematology conference that is taking place in Europe right now. Our colleague Judith is over there. And on top of that, we have an announcement with a new feature of our online platform, CLIN. And for that, we'll have Sreedhar ready, the architect of the product, who is going to join us to talk about that development. So, Sreedhar, welcome to the podcast. Can you hear
Thanks
me?
for having me again, Bruno. Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
All right, good. Before we talk about the announcement and the new feature, which is an agentic chat platform that is embedded inside CLIN and is very exciting and works very well. We'll
Right.
demo it in a moment. Before that, let's talk about EHA. So the role of our platform, one of the big use is to monitor the activity during cancer conference. And we're going to show first how our standard UI allows for that. So you can share your screen and we can look at EHA and see what's trending there, since I'm not there. Initially, I was supposed to be there, by the way. But ultimately, I did not make the trip. So, all right. So let me say a few words about this, and then you can describe the new feature. So, on the left, we have the top Oncobuzz trials at EHA. You could expand that panel by clicking on the top right, and we can see these are the most impactful trials at EHA right now. And what's interesting about this is that this is not Bruno's opinion or Sreedhar's opinion or Judith's opinion. It's the opinion of 6,000 oncologists that we are tracking on X, and our AI extracted the sentiment and the specific commentaries on these trials. And on the right, you've got the list of commentators. I know a number of them. I talked with a number of them. And a little bit lower, you have also, let's see, what do you have? Should go down further on the analytics. Scroll down to see the other. Okay. Yeah. So now the other thing you can do is that you can click on any of these bars. Yeah, that you got the heat map, the top companies, so several analytics. So the one thing you can do when you receive this is to click on the bar, go back up to the top left panel, and let's click on one of the top trials. Maybe, no, not the first one because it's an academic trial. Let's click the J&J, right? Let's click on the red. So this is a trial that clearly has a lot of negative, the J&J trial, Immunoprism. Nope, no, oh, no, sorry. Yes,
Oh,
that's
that's
the,
not from change it.
no, okay. So in that case, yeah, let's click on the green of J&J and see what people are saying about that trial. Okay. Okay. So it's a phase 3 randomized. Okay. And we can see here the commentary, the positive commentaries from several top voices on X. Right. Now, of course, often the most interesting commentary are the negative commentaries. And from time to time, we have them because the negative are so sensitive and so important. We give it an additional level of curation. So our analysts would check and curate the sentiment extracted from the negative. Go back to the top trials bar graph for a second. Let's see what else do we have. So I assume the second one is a negative trial. Let's click on the red for Immunoprism. And so often So it talks about toxicity, design issue, design issue. So our AI extract not only that it's a negative sentiment, a critical sentiment, but also why. Sometimes there's no reason, the one at the top, but it also mentions toxicity and design issue for that trial. Several people mention the design issue. Right? So anything to add, Sreedhar? And then we'll get to the new feature, the announcement today.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we do have other analytics that we are not covering in this call, Bruno, but we do have the top companies by expos, the top companies, the top influencers posts on X, and the other analytics that are not based on the buzz, that based on the number of drugs or the number of MOS. So we do have those analytics available on this page. And just to give a quick update, Bruno, we made the analytics as the default landing page, and then we have the clinical abstracts as a second page. So we kind of segregated and we kept the analytics as well as the abstract as two separate tabs. And under the abstracts, the design is slightly revamped. We started following the card system. So for each abstract, you have a card mentioning the number of posts and the number of images available for each abstract. We can also drill down, Bruno, into each abstract so that it takes to that abstract details page. And from the abstract details page, we can also migrate to the trial 360 page. And we can further get into the complete trial details page from here by clicking the trial icon, the trial tag here. Yeah, those are the things that I want to add.
Okay, terrific. All right, so let's now look at the new feature.
Sure. So we recently added a chatbot feature to Clin. We did have a version of chatbot implemented that was specific to conference, and this time we decided to expand it to entire Clin. So chatbot becomes the landing page right now for Clin. The good news is that this is also available for free users, so it can be tested without login, and there are certain credits that are available on a daily basis for the guest users to come and play around with the chatbot. Uh, it is contextual, so the chat icon will be available on each and every page, and this chatbot is specifically built based on the clean data, the curated data and the structured data, whatever we have clean. We decided not to go out of clean for now, and maybe we'll try to stay in clean as much as possible. The idea is that since clean is a structured data, we want to take maximum benefit of our data. And since our data is curated, it's been built over years, several years, and it's very structured. That's the main reason. So there are scenarios where you may not find certain data that we are not at that's not yet available in Clin. For example, the preclinical data may not be available in Clin, so the chatbot may not do a good job in that. But in all other cases, it does really a good job in terms of giving responses. And if you have any questions, Bruno, you could ask. Like for example, we checked a bit earlier regarding the buzz for the trials at EHA 2026, and you can see like what are the highest buzz trials at EHA 26. So I don't need to get into the conference, I don't need to open the EHA conference, and I don't need to even build or look at the analytics. I could just use one prompt and I'll know as a snapshot as to what are the top trials that are presented at EHA, based on the X volume, based on the sentiment signal, based on various factors. And we also see the analytics that are designed
And
based on the
Sreedhar, to interrupt you, there are two ties here. Is that because there's the old legacy system and the new one?
we just kept the two ties there, Bruno. So we are trying to transition out one of them and keep the new one.
I
So
see.
initially it was just built for the conference, and then we also did it for the entire CLIN. So that's the reason why we have two ties, and we are
And
gonna take out
Thai is
one
a
of them.
tiger. That's the name of our tiger, by the way, Thai. And
Hi,
Yeah,
Shahir?
Hi, Bruno. I'm so sorry. I'm going to take the liberty to jump in and
Yep.
interrupt you guys because you guys were talking about a chatbot, and of course, everybody loves to talk about AI and integrations about that. I have a few questions, if you don't mind. I
Please.
know it's a little unexpected, but I'll try to play devil's advocate on that. Sridhar, you might want to share the exact chatbot tab if that's easy, but just one quick point. I, being an insider, I know what this chatbot is based on. Of course, we know the extensiveness and we know the depth involved. But what exactly? I mean, how does it exactly make us different from the crowd, from every other company that's trying to jump the bandwagon and integrate artificial intelligence in that? So I'm trying to understand the depth for the audience, and there's a few people watching us. I couldn't resist but pass this question towards you guys.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And Sridhar is going to give the first answer, then I'll add to it. Just before that, we will, again, that little image of a tiger is Thai, our mascot, Thai is a tiger. And we're going to have only one of the two, right, soon, Sridhar, right?
that's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. We are gonna ultimately have one. So this is something that's in a kind of beta right now. And you can see the full screen where I'm sharing the chatbot, like with the highest buzz trials at EHA 2026. So I get a nice table with the list of top trials that are based on the expos, the number of views, the sentiment signal, and it's all like it's
So,
all in one place.
okay,
Yeah,
so
and
go back
every
to
of
the
these,
question that, if you don't mind,
yeah.
that you ask. What question did you ask the agent?
So I just asked it to give me the highest buzz trials at EHA 2026. That's the only question. That's a simple question that I asked. So and it gave me these top 10 trials based on the buzz.
Okay.
And each of these are linked to that specific page on Clean Bruno. So everything, I mean, every reference is given here. And you can also see the readout for each of these trial, like who the most active KOLs and what is the readout from the KOLs and the notable takeaways. So again, just to kind of touch upon the point that Shahir brought up, all this data is coming from within Clean. We are not going out of Clean. We are only looking at all the curated and the structured data that is in our system.
So the short answer to Shahir's question is that CLIN is the most curated and comprehensive structured database of cancer data, especially outcome cancer data. And so the quality of the result and the low level, or actually the lack of hallucination, is the difference
Yes,
between this and asking ChatGPT, for example, or asking our competitors. And we could do a one sort of we could do a parallel test on ChatGPT to see what it would do, but I suspect it would be quite different. The other thing that I find so interesting in the way software are developing now is the whole idea of ephemeral UI.
that's
Right? You
correct.
could
Yeah,
either go to a set UI, a set interface. That's the first part of what you showed earlier. Or you could ask a question. And AI is going to generate not just text, but analytics for you. And you could change and say, only include, I don't know, you could say only include CORT T or
yeah,
AML. And it's going to, on the fly, create a new analytics to your requirements.
that's correct. Yeah.
Can you export the tables and analytics from the result, or not so much?
Can try. Frankly, I didn't try, Bruno. Maybe you can screenshot them. That's possible, and probably we could add we could give a small download icon, Bruno. I think that should be possible. Right now, we don't have it, but we could just give a download icon to export.
But by
I
giving
think that
it, you
should be
just
possible.
prompt it. You say, make sure
Yeah, yeah,
create a downloadable version of this, right?
yeah. Maybe that's also something we could try. Yeah. Um, I mean, let me try. Let me try as I speak. But so I think Shahir, you got the answer. So right now we are trying to stay within clean, and we are not going out of the clean. And the data is clean, the data is neat, and there are certain limitations doing that because as I mentioned, clean may not fetch some of the details specifically for the preclinical targets, which we are not extensively covering right now. But at some point, hopefully, it should be able to fetch that. And you can see, Bruno, it actually in this case it generated an Excel-friendly table, and it
And
didn't give me a download option, but it generated. It can do a JSON, it can do a CSV. So it's all those options are possible.
got it. So we're going to be at the end of the call in a
Yeah,
minute
sorry,
or,
you're saying
or
something, Bruno?
two. Um, so that's actually a very exciting development for us, and I know you and your team worked hard on this, and it's really impressive how AI and the kind of AI we build is powering easier and easier user experience. So thank you very much. Any final point before we close the podcast?
Just one exciting update, Bruno. We are working on the app, the mobile app for Clean. The first version is out, and maybe in the next podcast we can discuss an update on the next one. That is the uh, influencer tab and other things that are added to Clean. So probably mobile app is the next one that we could discuss.
That sounds good. Well, Shahir and Sreedhar, thank you, both of you, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Thank you, Bruno.